This. Olive, first of all, I think we need to understand that the power is with the people in this country. And we have different types of power which have been delegated by the people to various organs. We have the judicial power, which is delegated to the judiciary. If you read chapter 10 of the Constitution, you'll see how that is delegated, exercised by the courts and tribunals. Then we have the legislative power, which is not only given to legislative arms, but even devolved. There is the National Assembly and the Senate at the national level, and then there is the county assemblies at the devolved levels. And then we have the executive power, which is given to the executive arm of the government at the national level, exercised by the national executive, headed by the president, deputy president. There is the attorney general, and not more than 22 cabinet secretary, and not less than 14. It is clear in law. That is a delegated power. But there is one power that has not been delegated to any other institution except Parliament. And that is what we call the sovereign power. If you read Article 1 of the Constitution, the sovereign power is with the people and will be exercised by them directly or through their democratically elected representatives. And the word there is elected representatives. Now, one would argue that there are two, the Senate and National Assembly and the county assemblies as elected representatives. But Article 94 of the Constitution clearly now spells out who exercises sovereign authority or power of the people through delegation, and that is Parliament. So now you remove the county assemblies from that. Now, why have I brought all that? You need to understand, because where confusion comes about is the difference between sovereign power and executive power. If you go to the dictionary, Olive, what is the executive authority or power? It is the power to plan and put into action. I have paused there so that you understand what I'm saying. The executive authority or power is to implement government programs, period. That is the power given to the executive. But what is the sovereign power, which is given only to Parliament? It is the ultimate or supreme authority. Now let me come back to answer your question. The public assets or state assets or parastatals or state corporations, they mean the same thing, literally. These are institutions where the people of Kenya have shares directly, both collectively and individually. You and I and all the millions of Kenyans, including the child who was born yesterday, own our public assets. And therefore, if you are privatizing these assets, you need our express authority as a people. We need to literally vote to allow divestiture or the sales of these assets. But because it is not practical to vote every time we want to sell parastatals, you can't call for a referendum every day. Then you defer to the Constitution if there is any body that the people of Kenya have given the sovereign authority to exercise on their behalf, and that is only Parliament. And therefore, I find it even unconstitutional to start debating whether to remove the responsibility that Parliament has on privatization of public assets. If you are talking about bureaucracy, only that cannot be the reason to take away the oversight responsibility of people's representatives. Because bureaucracy can be dealt with. If today the cabinet proposed that there should be set timelines in law when Parliament should transact or deal with a matter that is brought before them to privatize, and that can be done, it has been done. There are so many cases where Parliament has been given timelines, even in vetting the CSS, vetting the PSS, or any other something that we require fast tracking, we provide in law. So what I expect to be brought to Parliament is set timelines when Parliament can deal with privatization of state assets. But thinking, even imagining that you would remove people's representative from such assignment, it is unconstitutional, it is undemocratic, and cannot be tolerated in a civilized society.